Hi there. In this video, I'd like to talk about another popular technique in machine learning. It's called deep learning. Now, deep learning is a very exciting area in machine learning. It's one of the newer techniques that has really evolved over the last 10 years. And what this deep learning does is it's a form of unsupervised learning, meaning the computer actually has algorithms that make all of the decisions without using human input. So this becomes especially useful for automation, robotics, self-driving vehicles, anything that you want to take the human decision making out of it and allow the computer to make the best decisions. So what deep learning does is it takes data and tries to represent it in a fashion that's very similar to the way the brain works. So if you see this particular cactus here, if you imagine these being individual neurons connected together, the deep learning algorithms attempt to break down each individual piece of data and then break it apart and then try to reconnect it together. It uses a bunch of hidden layers, and again, it tries to figure out the optimal values to answer different algorithms and ultimately arrive at an answer. But is this, again, the example I like to use is cat or dog. Is this image more like a cat or more like a dog? Now, the computer itself isn't necessarily going to know that without some prompting, but at least it can figure out some characteristics and be able to say, well, this has these types of images are unique, whereas these ones are very different. So it may not necessarily give you that answer without some prompting, but at least it would be able to differentiate the two. And that's important if you are using an algorithm like this to determine, is it safe for the car to drive? Or does the car need to stop because there's an immediate hazard in front of it? These algorithms can help determine whether or not it's safe for the car to operate or if it needs to stop. So this is just a brief introduction on deep learning. There's a lot of different ways to approach it, but just in summary, it's a technique that works similar to the human mind, how the brain connects together, and it is unsupervised, meaning that it makes the decisions, all the decisions itself, and arrives at the best possible outcome. So the one disadvantage I will say about this method is it can get really complex in a hurry, requires lots of computing power, and it is very difficult to understand how it made the decisions that it made because there's just too many calculations. It can handle millions and millions upon calculations to arrive at that one simple answer. And so you wouldn't be able to follow every single path that it took to arrive at that answer like you could with another technique like decision trees. So the promise of it is it promises a much more accurate result than other techniques. So until next time, have a blessed day.